17 Study Techniques. 1. Reading Comprehension Technique. Reading comprehension techniques are great that help you to read a chapter in the right way and grab most of the information by reading. SQ3R, PQ4R, PQRST, and Thieves all are reading comprehension study techniques. However, here we will explain only the SQ3R study technique. SQ3R is 5 steps technique that involves survey, question, read, recite, and review. Let's discuss all steps. Survey. Instead of just starting reading, first focus on the title of the chapter, introduction and summary sections, headings and subheadings, graphics like charts, maps, diagrams, and others bold, italic, and highlighted sentences. Question. After taking the survey, now circulate questions around the chapter. Turn the headings for each section into as many questions as you think will be answered in that section. Read. After circulating the questions, start reading the chapter section by section with your questions in mind. Look for answers to questions that you created in the second step. Recite. After reading one section, stop and try to recall the answer that you find while reading that section. If you can't recall, then again go back to that section and find your answer again. Review. Once you've finished the chapter, now review the chapter to understand it more deeply. Quiz yourself on the questions you created and reread any portions if you need to. PQ3R Preview. Question, read, reflect, recite, and review. PQRST Preview. Question, read, self-recite, and test. Thieves title, headings, introduction, every first sentence in a paragraph, visuals and vocabulary, end of chapter questions, and summary. Present the same method to read a chapter. However, you don't need to confuse yourself with all reading strategies. Just go with SQ3R or the strategy you are familiar with. 2. Spaced practice. Spaced practice is a study technique where students review and revisit the material in spaced intervals over time. When you hear a lecture, you can retain up to 80% if you review the material within 24 hours, and you can retain up to 100% by reviewing and revisiting the same material 5 times in the schedule below. Day 1. Learn the material in class. Day 2. Revisit and review. Day 3. Revisit and review. After 1 week, revisit and review. After 2 weeks, revisit and review. 3. LEITNER system. The LEITNER system is a memorization study technique that works using flashcards and spaced repetition techniques. Flashcards are small cards, physical or electronic, with 2 faces where on one face you write the question and on another face, you write the answer for it. In the LEITNER system, you made 3 boxes, named Box 1, Box 2, and Box 3. You can color the box for better identification. Whereas Box 1 is for reviewing every day, Box 2 reviews every other day, and Box 3 is for reviewing in a week. The second step is to create flashcards around the questions or concepts that you often forget or find hard to remember. After creating a bunch of flashcards, put all the flashcards in Box -1. Every flashcard will start in Box -1. As you answer a flashcard correctly, move the card into Box 2. If you incorrectly answer a flashcard, place the card back in Box 1. Follow this method for each flashcard in Box 1. At the end of this round, you will notice that some concepts remain in Box 1, which means that these concepts are more difficult for you and require frequent studying. 4. Retrieval practice. Retrieval practice is a great strategy that forces your mind to recall the information. The research found that recalling an answer to a question improves learning more than looking for the answer in your textbook. Bringing information to mind by hard recalling boosts your learning. It examines exactly what you know and how much information you can recall. The best methods to use retrieval practice are quizzes, clickers, flashcards, practice tests, and others. You can also use retrieval practice after the class by writing down all the information that you learn in your previous class. 5. ZEIGARNIK effect. The ZEIGARNIK effect suggests that students who stop their studies in the middle, during which they do unrelated activities, walking in nature or enjoying snacks, will remember material better than students who complete study sessions without taking any break. It is because, when you stop your studies in the middle, your mind gets stuck to it and you keep thinking about your studies. Even during breaks, sometimes you find a new way to solve your problems. 6. Pomodoro technique. Pomodoro techniques uses a timer to break your work or study into intervals traditionally 25 minutes in length, separated by short breaks, 5 minutes. Each 25 minutes study session is called a pomodoro, an Italian word for tomato. When you complete 4 pomodoros while taking breaks, then the Pomodoro technique allows you to take a long break, 20 minutes. This technique works great if you have to study for long hours effectively. Make sure while following your pomodoros must avoid your phone and other work while studying. 7. The learning pyramid. This theory suggests that most students only remember about 10% of what they read from textbooks, but retain nearly 90% of what they learn through teaching others. It might not be accurate with the percentage, but the average retention rate really differs when you choose a different learning medium. 8. FEYNMAN technique. The FEYNMAN technique not only helps you to learn a concept very well but also helps you to retain it for longer times. According to the FEYNMAN technique, you explain what you're trying to learn in simple terms, and notice the gaps in your explanation. It is a 4-steps process. 1. Pick a topic and understand it properly. 2. Explain the topic to someone in an easy way, from basic, so that the other person can easily understand what you want to teach. 3. Identify your knowledge gap where you can't explain clearly. 4. Organize and simplify the concept, if you can't return to the literature to understand it better. 9. Pre-testing before learning the new information. According to this technique, when students take a test before studying a new topic, doesn't matter what they score, not only can understand better after studying but also they don't forget easily what they studied. Because of pre-testing before the study, students can able to connect the information while studying after. 10. Mind mapping. Mind maps use words and images to create strong associations that help you remember what you're studying. It helps you to improve your memory with visual cues, words, and images. It helps you to make and identify relationships between different topics. It makes your study more interesting and develops your subject understanding. Helps you to explore subjects broadly and in depth. It helps you to organize your thoughts to plan and structure assignments. 11. Color coding your notes. Using warm types of colors such as yellow, red, and orange has been found to have a greater effect on attention. Use red colors for key points. Use yellow color or highlighter to highlight something important sentence. 12. Studying while playing music. Many research and studies have shown that background music tends to improve performance over no music and white noise, but not always in the same manner, and it doesn't affect everyone in the same way. However, it's certainly true that some types of music can boost concentration and memory as well as increase alertness. Choose classic music, instrumental music, or any music that has no lyrics and you won't have a strong feeling or any emotions with that music. 13. Exercise before the study. Oregon Health and Science University have discovered a single session of exercise can enhance the expression of a gene that promotes synaptic growth in the hippocampus. And, when you do physical exercise, it releases proteins in the brain that can actually help improve your memory and increase your cognitive performance. Hippocampus is a complex brain structure embedded deep into the temporal lobe. It has a major role in learning and memory. You don't need to go to gym before the studying. Just do 20 minutes of physical exercise at your home every day before studying and then see the result. 14. Learning best when you rest. According to Science Daily, research from the University of Notre Dame shows that going to sleep shortly after learning new material is most beneficial for recall. It confirms that sleeping directly after learning something new is beneficial for memory. This means that it would be a good thing to rehearse any information you need to remember just prior to going to bed. So, instead of pulling all-nighters or using your phone before sleeping, you can study 30 to 60 minutes before bed, whether it is for reviewing your flashcards or revising your notes, which would be beneficial for you in all ways. 15. Surroundings for study. Research confirms that many factors can affect your learning ability, including seating, light, background noise, and more. Your learning environments and surroundings not only should be distraction-free but also supports and motivate you while studying. No matter where you want to study, be it your study room, coffee shop, park, or library, make sure you're comfortable there and can focus well. If you like to study with friends or others, then arrange a group study someday or join in a library. 16. Write down the problems that seem hard or where you always make mistakes. During the study, you may have many problems or concepts where you always make mistakes or find problems difficult to solve. Isn't it? So, all you need to do is make a list of all such questions and always review those questions once a week until you learn them completely. This study tip really works for tough questions. 17. Don't stick with one subject when you don't feel like studying, then move on to that subject that you like most for 1 to 2 hours if that subject is also important. But in any case, if you really have to study only one subject, then instead of studying textbooks or notes, try to study by visual learning, or watch video lectures on YouTube. Or, you can make that subject interesting by a quiz to yourself that will tell you what you learned successfully.